Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to OTL Community Racing here on Twitch again at Zolder for warm-up race number 2, evaluation race number 2 for season number 4 of our GT3 Assetto Corsa Competizione League on PC. So I'm Matt, I'm your host this evening. We'll have Mr. Kieran Sharp on the cameras tonight as well, so I can lay back and enjoy the stream, contact as we go, less stress for moi. And there we go, they've just finished practice, so they will be off into quali in just a second. Drive, there we go. So yeah, they are starting to leave the pits nice and quickly. So a few drivers here that were last week as well. Hopefully most of the drivers that need assessing are here. The ones that haven't may find themselves without a seat next week. So have to be a bit careful on that front. That will be discussed afterwards. Sharpie clicking like there's no, you know, he's just getting excited. The toys he's got at his disposal. Is that, what's this do? Oh, hello. But it's good that I like that new track map graphic actually. Can be quite useful. Hopefully no stream issues this evening. Let me know how it is for everybody on here. Streamers not saying any drop frames, but my stream's a bit all over the shop. So yeah, let me know. Evening Conan and Jay Higg. Hope you both well. So 15-minute qualifying, followed by just the one feature race. Hello Philip, thank you very much man, really appreciate that, looks good to you, awesome stuff. Yeah, so hour-long race after a 15-minute qualifying, with the mandatory pit in the middle. And then so GT4s on the Thursdays, slightly different format, are 2 20-minute races. So of more of the sprint variety. But yeah, you can get their fix of slightly longer races in the GT3s. Well, thanks for the 100. Cheers, Jay Higg. Really appreciate that, man. Very, very kind of you. Really appreciate the support, as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's not like an Xbox, mate. No, you hop into. You'll have the channel permissions. Fish tagged you in a message about 5-6 minutes ago, and then there'll be a channel with the server info. You type in OTL space OTL R in the search for the lobby, and then you find it and put the password in that's in the Discord. There's a shout Fish's way. Might have to be your best bet to get in. So on board with Daniel O'Brien in the Audi. So it's fun track Zolder. One of those ones I enjoy but I'm rubbish at. Oh, 400, cheers man. Thank you very much, Jay Higg. Very, very kind of you. As I say, I really appreciate that, man. Nice use of the emotes as well, the emojis. A bit of variety. I haven't seen half of these, there's too many. I'm not as experienced as you guys at using all of those. But yeah, I love the bit of flair with it. Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much, ma'am. So, Eric Newman going provisional pole, 1:32.25. Daniel O'Brien coming around the final corner. Let's see what he's able to manage. Currently hasn't set a time. There we go. Oh, up into second. So 3.5 tenths back. We'll be pretty happy with that. So on board with Andrew Pike now in the Aston Martin. And so currently in 12th, hasn't set a time, but we'll see very shortly. Hopefully this is a valid lap. Oh, look at that. So in front of Corkery, who'd beaten Daniel O'Brien's time. So up to second now, just over a tenth back. We're on board with Harry Spears. So Team Forzilla driver, fully expecting him to be right up the front, if not at the front itself. Yeah, we really appreciate that, Jay Higg. Obviously no obligation for that kind of thing, but yeah, really awesome of you, so we really appreciate that, dude. Well, this is the last evaluation race, unfortunately, Boost. So this is on PC as well, but... Evening, Johnny Ash. Evening. Yep, Belgian track, Conan. Yeah, no, Zolder's I think it's a cracking old track. So what's Harry do? Oh, crikey, there we go. 1:28.635, so no messing about from him. He is right up into the top spot. 1.5 seconds clear as well, so... Is he going to be the runaway driver this week? We had Killian Ryan Meenan last week. Absolutely flying round. Debatch in his customary light blue livery. If there's a car with that colour, he will always pick it. And obviously you can pick what colour you have in this. So didn't expect anything different. Nice and easy to spot him as well. So it's a slight newcomer to this game compared to some of the drivers in the league. But we know he's got the racecraft and everything. So he should be fine. He's just going to have to grind it away and just get more used to the game and its physics, really. I'm sure he'll only get quicker and quicker. So just under 10 minutes left now. Oh, Evening Chaos. Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad. Sub from Jay Higg there, thank you very much, man. On Debatch, I think he's done. He's off back to the pits. So didn't quite work out for him. So he's just trying to get more comfortable. But yeah, really appreciate that, Jay Higg. Very kind of you, man. Thank you kindly. Hydronox, evening. Alright, cheers Arnie. Yeah, cheers Phil. So on board with Joe LaCour, Cornwall Racing Team. so no guessing where he's from. Also in the Audi. So just himself and Daniel O'Brien going for that car by the looks of things, but I mean they're clearly very comfortable with it. Joe LaCour up in 4th at the moment, just behind Andrew Pike, who's up into 3rd. Eric Newman's still holding on to that 2nd spot, but 1.5 back from Spears. So does Joe LaCour improve? 1.758 back. No, it looks like it was probably an outlap. So the gap between him himself, Corkery and Pike, very, very close. No time at all. Actually, 3/4 of a tenth is that gap between all 3 drivers. So it'll be interesting to see if that's the same in the race. Or more than that day glow yellow AMG of Martin Legg. So 3.6 back at the moment, but I think there's a few here to just get into their rhythm. Don't really compare to your speed to Harry Spears either, to be honest, because he is a little bit fast. Oh, don't mention cookies. I did have a cookie earlier, actually. Just saying. White chocolate as well. I didn't buy it. It's just, you know, brother come in. You want a cookie? The answer's always yes. So he should be. I mean, but whether he's gonna follow the instructions that are in the Discord, I don't know. I can't really do much about it now as well. I can't run around too much, you know, getting him in really. But yeah, hopefully he'll be able to make it in. So just got to find the server in the server list, put the password in that's in the Discord channels that he can see. Yeah, I thought you would, Leg. Cheers, man. Should be able to jump in and get all that sorted. It wouldn't be a problem either if he started from the back, to be honest, because it'll sometimes that's the safest place. But you can hop in and get a race out of it and hopefully do okay. He's been driving in a lot of our Xbox leagues. There's Khan Big Tam, you would have seen him on the Tuesdays. So interesting to see how he fares on here. So Scott Nicholls in that beautiful looking thing. The number 117 Ferrari. Looked really composed last week, looked really stable, really controlled. So it'll be interesting to see if that was the car, the track, a nice combo of both, or just a really good week. Hopefully it's something that will continue into the championship. Hopefully we'll have more of the same as tonight as well. There's some good fighting he had with some other drivers throughout that race last week as well. Yeah, they'll come. There's patches here and there. They'll come. I mean, the frames per second and everything will stay the same because that's absolutely fine because there's no way on earth this game would run on 60 frames a second on Xbox. It struggles to do that on some PCs. So next gen, it'll be amazing. But this gen, I think they've done wonders to get it how good it is now. But it'll improve. It'll keep improving. Nicholls, how far does he move up? Oh, and look at that. He matches Corkery's time there. So you've still got a few drivers right in that pack. 5th down to 8th. So close. Got quite a few in the pits at the moment. Magato, Ronnie Thunder, Martin Legg, Sam Saud, got Bush in the pits as well. And there we go, Mr. Tam Hamill, the Scottish wonder himself. Be interesting to see how sideways he drives it on here. I don't think he'll be driving it like Project Cars. I do hope not. We'll find out very shortly. See if he remembers it has cold tyres when he comes out of the pits or cold brakes. It's going to be interesting. It's interesting to see how he fares. See, it didn't take much time for him to be going a little bit sideways. So Harry Spears, Daniel O'Brien in 2nd, 9/10 back. Harry Spears 1:28.635, holding on to that pole position beautifully. You can just suspect he'll be a very smooth driver. So you can see there himself as well, just giving himself some room. So it looks like he might be on an outlap, just giving himself a bit of space to the car up ahead. You can see actually as well Scott Nicholls not far back on the road. Again, he'll just need to give himself a little bit of room as well, knowing that Spears is going to just toddle around these last couple of corners. Give himself the space to launch it at the final corner and have a good attack at the next lap. Oh, look at that livery at the front as well, crikey. What a thing. See quite a bit of that in this, I think. Oh yeah, private lobbies, I don't think they'll be very far away, Jay Higg, either. I'm sure they'll be fairly soon, to be honest. I think they'll be in the next... I would expect them in the next few weeks, personally. They might be longer, that's just my own inkling. But we will see. So we go on board with Spears. A bit more of his lap. Yellow flag out somewhere, so someone's gone wide and gone off. Hopefully that'll go green again soon. Using a little bit of the runoff. A little bit of gravel, nothing too much. Using as much track as possible. You do see those quick drivers are just a little bit better at how much of the circuit they know how to use. And they use all that's available to them. You can see him doing it there again, coming over the chicane. And coming down to another chicane here. Again, just using enough track that you don't get punished, but you can gain a lot more time there. Wouldn't be surprised to see some of the slow drivers maybe just not taking advantage as much of the track as they can do. But that's what experience does for you. You know how much of the track you can use. We're just coming up to the car in front. But I don't think it'll hamper him at all. So coming up to the final corner, might hamper him just a little bit actually. So we have to just try and launch out the final turn. Maybe get a little bit of a slipstream. Just hopefully that car doesn't wiggle too much. It would have affected him a little bit. He's gone far right on the track. Daniel O'Brien in the pits in second, and Spears pulls that gap even further away by about 3/10. That looked like. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if that's him done for qualifying. That 1.2 second gap now. So we're on board with that very loud car. That was Rhys Williams, number 20 car. Currently in 16th at the moment. I like his team name, Lap Down Racing. It's yeah, fair enough. You see a lot of that team at the back and last row racing kind of names. It's a lot of self-deprecating drivers on ACC. So you're trying to get a bit of heat in the tyres, get a bit of gravel out of the tyres might help first. They're not conducive to grip most of the time. You've got to have a sore bottom after taking the chicane like that as well. So just getting to grips with the car. On board with Robert Lovelace. So race winner in our previous season as well. So we know he's got speed in the BMW as well. What a brave boy. He's a bit of a, I don't know, he's a brave one on that front. Picked the Jaguar for the Silverstone 4-hour race for his team. So this man's clearly a bit of a glutton for punishment. I don't think anyone else has signed up in the BMW for our season. There was definitely no one in the BMW, I don't think, for the 4-hour Silverstone race. Well, Hydrogen, yeah, we have many people in here with questionable taste, so you will feel right at home. Evening, Connor. Evening, man. Yeah, I don't quite know how that's private lobbies are going to work on Xbox, to be honest, without the tools you have on PC. I'm still completely up in the air, but we will see. We will see. So Lovelace coming around onto a hot lap now, get as close as you can to the wall. So again, we'll be interested to see how we can fare in this BMW. As we know he has pace. Like I said, won a league race last season, which is no mean feat. Not many people get to do that. Well, Joe Leclerc up to second now, just 1 second off the pace. Lovelace 2.1. Back, he's only got Scott Nicholls just in front, but beyond that he's going to have to get quite sizable gains here of at least half a second to start looking at Pike, Newman and Corkery. And from 4th to 6th. Those are the next guys to attack on the standings. But even if he can just get Scott Nicholls, just one more position. Nicholls is in the pit, so he won't be improving. Yeah, it's the easiest car, I think, to jump in and just drive, Jay Higg, from what I hear. It's a good, strong thing, especially if it rains. That car's a bit of a beast. But I know it's a car a lot of people just feel comfortable in. Quite like that livery as well. Not too much use of the Dayglow yellow. Bit of inspiration from Leg, but keeps it simple, doesn't use it too much. Nice and easy to spot. Just a bit like that car in the background of Rhys Williams. So, Checkers flag is now out. Most cars are in the pits, but still a few out trying to improve their times. Tam up to 9th as well, so not bad at all. Just a couple of tenths off of Rob Lovelace at the moment, so fairly impressive start from him. So can Rob improve? 2.133 off of pole at the moment in 8th position, and he does not improve. So Rhys behind him. That pops up into 15th. So just a few at the back struggling just a little bit. Coleman Corkery coming across the line. He does improve, but not by enough to snatch any more time. Joe Leclerc also improves in second. Again, not swapping positions though. So he'll stay on the front row. But Harry Spears, 128.344, dominant performance in quali. Has never really looked like losing that top spot of the podium. And he's not going to improve on it. But he was clearly giving it his all there. So that is him done. Just got a couple of cars out. Looks like Tam. Nope, he's on the road. And Martin Legg. Give it some welly. Out of the final turn. 3.1 back at the moment. As good as makes no difference to 3.2 seconds back. And he does not improve. So that is us done for quali. So we have an hour race ahead of us. Oh, nice. Yeah, he's a good job. He had a bit of a weird race last week, but he showed good pace. So yeah, I was fairly impressed. So looking forward to see how he handles the race this week. But yes, it hopefully does well. So he looked alright last week for his first OTL race. So yeah, hopefully more of the same this time round. Oh, let's get off the... there we go. Lovely jubbly. So you can see... Oh, go on. Yep, you done shopping? Happy? Right. There's lots of cool tools with ACC. It's one of the best things about this. It's good fun to stream with the tools available. Hopefully they'll only improve as well. Someone might build something on top of them. But we will see. Hopefully everyone in the race has a good time this week as well. So Spears with LaCour on the front row. You can see short formation, that none of the full formation, that stuff this time around. Daniel O'Brien, Coleman Corkery on the second row. We have Pike and Newman in 5th and 6th. Scott Nichols and Rob Lovelace 7th and 8th. Tam Hamill and Pelicano in 9th and 10th. Magatone Legg in 11th and 12th. We have Soud and Rolling Thunder 13th and 14th. Reese Williams and The Batch in 15th and 16th. And then Sebastian Bush rounding out the grid in 17th. So just 1.5 minutes to go now, and then we'll be underway. Yep, the Boatley. Yeah, no, it's a quick... Well, one of the best things about ACC, you see something like Silverstone, the Bentley is supremely strong. But you can put it on other tracks, and it's just much harder to drive. It's not as strong. So it's not like there's one overpowered car that you can just jump in that wins everywhere. And normally, if they are that quick, they're not the easiest to drive. Yeah, Mr. Fish is. I mean, he only got a wheel a few months ago, 2-3 months ago now, and I mean, he's come such a long way since then. Like, he's improved dramatically, and then obviously he's jumped to PC as well. He's doing some of this. And yeah, I think he's showing pretty decent form. And he's only going to get quicker as well. The more you mix it in this sort of speed and the drivers around him. I mean, to get 5th there is a pretty good attempt, to be honest. That's not easy. But he'll be pretty happy with that, I think. Ahead of Nichols, Newman, Lovelace. So, quick drivers. Tam Hamill's done alright. They're getting in 9th as well. Be interested to see how he manages in the league proper. So you can hear the engines starting up. Car's been plonked back down on the track. Just 20 seconds left to go. Yeah, go Legger indeed. Thank you very much for the 100 cheers. Conan. Yeah, good luck, Sam. Keep it pointing in the right direction. Keep it nice and safe. Remember, can't win it the first turn. Evaluation race and all that. Punt to pass is turned off, hopefully. Good luck, Reese, as well. Good luck, dude. Shame about the livery, but good luck about everything else. So they shoot round the final corner, and then they have to slow down fairly dramatically. They'll line up. Harry Spears. Just get that car slightly ahead. Front left. Hopefully just about lining up in formation. It'll be interesting to see if anyone gets a penalty here, because that's a slightly disjointed front of the grid, but as long as they're hitting the right speed limits, they should be okay. Yep, so they are all good at the front of the grid. So Harry Spears away nice and cleanly. Joe LaCour in pursuit. Daniel O'Brien looking to try and keep 3rd. We've got Corkery holding on to 4th. Someone going a little bit wide in the background. Newman and Pike 5th and 6th still. So everyone's held on to their positions so far. Fairly nice, clean start by the looks of things. Don't want to say that too early, but yeah, looks all good so far. So nicely sort of spread out. Sort of a nice queuing going on. Not too much 2 or 3 wide in the first few corners. So everyone just getting into their rhythm. You can see everyone snakes through there nicely. You can see that BMW. Rob Lovelace. Oh, and I think he might have... Oh, this is hopefully he's going to avoid everyone else. Oh, no, he's not. He's just caught Newman. That's really unlucky. It was an interesting angle we got for that, because you can see it coming. But I think he's just turned across a little bit. I think it was... Oh, not quite seen it there. He was trying to get to go further back. So I think that was Lovelace, and... I think it might have been Pike. I think it might have been Mr. Fish, actually. Just a little touch on the front corner. Not sure what happened there, if it was a bit of a misjudgment from one of them. But yeah, a bit unfortunate. But again, they've got the hour to come back through it. It could have been much worse, to be honest, that tap, as he's come across the grass. There's not much you could do about that there, I don't think. Be interesting to see it again later on. But yeah, sometimes those things do happen. A bit unfortunate. We know those drivers are clean, so yeah, it's a bit unlucky, really, I think. It's Daniel O'Brien in his usual red livery. Look at that start from Harry Spears. 2.2 second lead already. So Common Corkery down to 4th. LaCour and Daniel O'Brien just in front. So nice and close still, but just driven away a little bit, so they can focus on their own race here. Nothing too close, no dramatic defending happening early doors. Tam Hamill though. We've got Rob Lovelace just behind him, trying to go around the outside. And that was Martin Legg getting past as well, so Legg up to 7th. So he's had a really solid start there. Got through the guys behind him. It's going to try and keep that up the inside of Tam Hamill. You've got Rob Lovelace there. You've got the Bachelor on board with Pelicano at the moment. Trying to keep a tab on Ronnie Thunder, and I think that is Rob Lovelace just in front of him. Timing screens on ACC, not the greatest, a little bit delayed, so bear with me a little bit as well. All new car liveries as well to get used to. Much easier once it's into the league, but we'll get through it. So Ronnie Thunder up to 11. Solid start from him again. Martin Legg in 7th, trying to hold off Tam Hamill at the moment, doing a nice job. Tam, decent start to his first PC race here in OTL. I think he'll be happy with 8th so far. I'm sure Legg will be delighted with 7th, but there are mistakes like that. Yeah, better just get across there, try not to go for that curb. And that will not gain you time anyways. Those will catch up very quickly to him on the inside. I think Tam might even be able to get alongside for turn number 1. Yep, he does do so. I think Martin Legg will try to go around the outside, hangs it onto the curb. Tam hangs it very wide left as well, just try and give him the room. Martin Legg just sticks to the curb. Tam looks like he's going to get that move made though, round the outside. Lovely move there from Tam. Good driving from both of them. So Tam up to 7th now. Legg still in 8th. Still not a bad first couple of laps for him though. The Bat's just behind them as well. Lovely looking livery there from Sebastian Busch in the Nissan. He's got Newman just behind him after that, unfortunately getting caught up in that tangle early. Nothing he could have done about that. He's got Magato just behind him in the white Porsche. There's a Newman behind that car as well. As you can see, there's a few cars nice and close behind still. So no one too far off the back of the pack, and all those cars in front are still only less than half a second to a second between each car. So actually no one's really massively off in the distance at the moment. So everyone's got a little bit of something to fight for, someone just up the road. But yeah, lovely looking livery that. I can't complain about that too much. Big fan of that. And when you've got control as much as controllers you do with delivery in these games, you do see some very weird lookers, but yeah, not too bad. Thank you very much for the follow, Kagans95. So much appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the racing. So Lovelace up into 9th now. So ahead of the Batch and Rolling Thunder. Now Pelicano in 12th. Anthony Pelicano in the Ferrari. Trying to keep tabs on those up front as well. So there's quite a while to go until that pit window opens. So it's a short pit window, 10 minutes in the middle of the race. So 25 minutes in. So when the clock at the top says 35 minutes remaining, that will be the pit window opening. you may be able to do, you could quite possibly do. You beat me. That's not, as long as you turn up, that's fairly given, to be honest. Thunder having a look. Can't go for the move yet. The Bat's down the inside. Pelicano just in front. So very close between all 4 of these now. Sam and Soud coming for a bit of this action. 2 Nissans behind. So we're keeping it nice and clean so far, so that's good stuff from everybody. Just as I say that, nearly a tangle. Oh, and a little tap from the corner there. I should have kept my mouth shut. It's a little bit unfortunate. I think the car in front's just got a little bit of a wiggle, and it's just scrubbed the speed off just at the wrong time. And yeah, as they were so close, I'm not sure if there's much Thunder could have done about that. But yeah, unfortunate for the Batch. Hopefully he can start getting back amongst it again. Yeah, I should never ever say that. You never ever comment on how clean a race is or whatever, because that's when it all goes a bit peaked on. So Mr. Scott Vincent, so I think wasn't able to make it dead on 8, but he's hopped in to get, we know he's clean anyways, but it'd be good for him to get a bit of experience in the car, and we know he's all good as well, so could be a bit of experience racing around some of the new guys, so he can feed back as well. Lovely looking thing that. So Sam and Sal right in behind Rolling Thunder still. IMG doing quite well, holding that Nissan behind. Getting good exits from the corner there, Thunder. So he's looking good at the moment. Looking a good battle, swapping positions. Getting nice and close, giving each other space when they do get close as well. There's some good fights going all the way down from about 8th backwards at the moment, really. You said you've got 5 cars here very close to each other. Same from leg down back to, I think, Rob Lover, so 3 or 4 of them there quite close. You'll see gaps opening bit by bit. We're nearly 7.5 minutes into this race. So I'm doing well to keep tabs on him. Running Thunder though as well. Doing a solid job of just keeping him behind. So Rick Newman down in 14th. Unlucky, as I said earlier, to get caught up in that. It was nothing. He was just minding his own business. Had a car obviously that had a bit of an incident and once on the grass. Like Loveless was, there's not much he could do about the car being out of control. So down in 14th now. Still trying to push forward. Again, got good pace. No reason to think he couldn't push up through the pack and finish in the upper to top mid pack. Getting a bit of a wiggle on there though, so not sure how comfortable he feels in the car. Nice wide outside line though. Around Boosh. So Boosh drops down to 14th. Eric Newman up to 13th position. They've got Magato not far behind them. That white Porsche. So Martin Legg, really good start to the race for him. He said he's going to need to keep this consistency up. Doesn't want any mistakes, so just needs to take one corner at a time. Tam Hamill still chasing him down. That battle's been going for most of the race so far. But again, Saud and Thunder, so good racing so far. Looking fairly controlled. Just as I say that. See what I said? Mouth shut. Just keep the mouth shut. Easily done though. I've seen many cars struggle at that corner. So it's very unfortunate for Thunder. That's going to drop him back a few positions. That's going to take a little while to turn around. Oh, and stay. Good boy. So again, easily done. See that sort of thing happen all the time. So he's going to get back up and at it. So the only driver now behind him is Batch, who's having a tough evening of it as well. Yeah, it was a difficult one for Running Thunder. Easily done there. Just the way the curbs are around here. And in the GT4s on ACC, you can take a lot more curb. You can attack those curves a bit more, but you get with the camber of corners and whatnot. Some drivers as well. It depends. Some can hold it better than others. And yeah, it's just gone on him, and that was going right at a left-hander very early. So unfortunate, but it's doing well up till that point. So just got to get back amongst it now. Oh no, so that was the batch who got past him. So he is at the back of the pack now. So you can just focus about getting back up the pace. Use it as a bit of a practice race, really. No saying though that you might see other cars making some mistakes still, so they might come back to him. There's not that many seconds between the cars up ahead, so they're still holding off Scott Nichols. Tam Hamill nicely here. Scott Nichols about 1.9 up the road. You can see Loveless in the BMW, just a bit further back in 9th. Pedicano another 2 seconds in the back. Just about see him as a dot in the background. Currently rounding out the top 10. You can see Tam actually getting under attack now from Loveless. Getting very close between the two of them. And his Loveless can have a look. He's going to show his nose in the rearview mirror. It's very close round the hairpin. I don't know if he got a little bit of a wiggle on as he floored the pedal there, or if that was him just trying to make sure he didn't contact the car of Tam Hamill ahead of him. But yeah, solid driving from these guys at the start. It's a nice close racing for the 3 of these as well, so they'll be all attacking and defending. You can see though, look, you've got Pelicano not far back at all, 1.9 as well. And if these guys start having to defend against each other, that gap will only get smaller and smaller. Sam and Sal dropped back a little bit now, so I think he's not quite the pace to keep up with these guys. 4.8 seconds now, but does have Newman just behind him. But Tam, yeah, top 8, I think, for first PC race in OTL. Impressive so far. So he's just got to try and mingle with these guys for as long as possible. Just keep pumping in those laps. As you can see, Loveless thinking of a move there. But not yet. He'll wait for another opportunity to try and let Tam make a mistake maybe, or just put pressure on him. Don't always have to make the move on someone. You can just force them into the error. Take advantage of that instead. Especially around a track like this. You can see those bumps around that chicane here. It can be a tough one at Zolder. You want to be careful there, or otherwise you have what happened to Mr. Rolling Thunder happen to you too. And yeah, so it's an unfortunate place to crash. Oh, is he going to look up the inside? Oh, he got very close. I think Tam just leaving a bit of room, being very respectful there. But also Loveless thinking, do I go for that, do I not? And he just held back. But they are alongside now, coming down into the final couple of corners. So is he going to get ahead? I think he has. So Tam slots in behind. Oh, and hits that curb hard. That'll give him a sore bottom. Oh, he's nearly got a bit unsettled on that curve as well, coming around that final corner. So he's lost a fair bit of momentum there. So that's going to have dropped him quite a chunk behind. Rob Loveless now, full second he's dropped there in that last corner or two. But good fighting from them so far. Pelicano's still just behind him as well. Thank you for the 300. Cheers, Conan. Thank you very much, man. Said always appreciated. Very kindly, dude. So Mr. Andrew Pike up in 5th spot. So quite clear of the car in front. So he's got a fair bit of road to try and catch the car up ahead. That's about 8 seconds, but Scott Nicholls only 1.2 behind. So his race is very much just behind him. It'll be interesting to see if that gap closes at all. 1.2 seconds. So he's not really in the fight for the higher spots than that at the moment, the top 4. Very much a little bit spread out. All the fighting really happening from this sort of mid-pack point onwards. But some good fighting so far. So, after 8 laps, nearly a quarter of the race through. Harry Spears holding a really comfortable lead here, driving a superb race. 7.3 seconds is his lead. Back to Joe LaCour, again driving a good race himself. Got 2 Audis in 2nd and 3rd actually, so driving very well round here. Daniel O'Brien in 3rd at the moment, and Calvin Corkery holding that 4th spot as it stands. But no, Harry Spears driving superbly well. So you might see him in other races, in other communities, sometimes mentioned as Frubo, Team 4Zilla driver. But yeah, Harry Spears is a very, very quick driver. So it will be interesting to see how he fares in the league. Should be fascinating. Oh, evening, Nate. Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad. How are you doing, dude? How are things? So Martin Legg, still solid race. Rob Loveless, though, on the charge. He's dropped Tam Hamill as well. Tam now down to that 1.7 seconds. So they were fighting side by side a lap and a half ago. It's now a nearly 2-second gap. Rob Loveless having a look. Martin Legg's going to keep that central line here. Just make sure he gets it slowed down enough to take the chicane nicely. He does so. So Loveless just slots in behind in the Beamer. Yep, Team Fish in the chat. I said solid drive from himself as well at the moment. He's going to. I'll be interested to see where he slots in the league for sure. Just with that amount of drivers, I think he's going to be. Yeah, I think he'll definitely be top half. I'm sure of that. He's that irritating. If we have pros and AMs categories as well, so you have like leaderboards for different classes. He's going to be. The way he's driving, I think he's going to be quite close to pro, to be honest. Which would be a hell of an achievement, jumping straight in, to be honest. I think I've said to be honest quite a few times there, so we'll leave that one away. Oh, Legg is going a bit long there. That's going to give Loveless the drive out at the final turn. I think Legg might have just about recovered that nicely, though. Got back up to speed quite quickly. You can see Tam Hamill not that far back, actually. He's brought that gap down by about half a second. So yeah, these two battling. And Loveless is going to be held up a little bit. He's going to have to be patient here. Slot in behind. There's a lot of Dayglow yellow on the screen at one time here. Oh, and Loveless getting loose. Oh, saved it nicely, but that is going to cost him the fight with Legg, and he is going to be fighting with Tam Hamill again. If anything, I think Tam's going to be coming back past. So Tam will probably pop up to 8, so it'll be interesting to see if he can hold him off. Yep, so they swap back places, and Loveless has to do it all over again. So very unfortunate, but when it's that close, it's easily done. Very, very easily done. So they've just got to be consistent. Take it easy. It's that sort of track where you can just make little mistakes here and there, and it can cost you so much, especially when the gaps are nothing really. You can see it. Don't look. Oh no, and there we go. See, that's not my fault. I didn't go to Loveless there, and he hits the wall. So likely to be damaged there, I'd imagine. And yeah, it's a horrible spot. You can see here. Look, just a bit of curb, a little bit of gravel there, I think, as well. He's just gone a bit too wide. Nothing he can do about that one-way ticket to the wall. Yeah, not an easy place to rejoin either. He would have had to sit there and wait and wait and wait. So, as I said, see what I mean? It's easy to make a mistake around here. You just put that thing a little bit too wide, getting maybe a little bit of understeer that he's not very keen on. Been a bit impatient, put his foot down. It spun it round on the gravel, and there's a wall very, very close to the right-hand side of the track, so off he goes. So, massive shame. But that will release Tam Hamill. Now he'll try to fight up to Martin Legg, about 1.1 seconds, so not a huge gap. Evening, JP. How you doing, dude? Always awesome to see you. I hope you're well, man. Hope you are very, very well. So just over a quarter of the race, nearly a third of the race gone now. Of this hour-long party at Zolder. But Legg will be very happy with this race so far. I've been 7th. So Tam is just closing down little bit by bit. I'm sure Legg is just trying to keep this consistent and not try and push too hard here. So this is a good race from him so far. We're very happy with how he's driving, but he's going to have to keep it error-free. So, as I said, just needs to take it a corner at a time. Go for that consistency rather than pace. And, yeah, see if those other drivers can match him. So Tam, be careful there. Nearly doing what Loveless did. Just about avoiding it, but you can see it's so easy to do. Spin it up round there and off you go. Yeah, I'm not too bad, JP, dude. Thank you very much for asking. I'm not too bad at all. So yeah, these two driving quite nicely at the moment. They won't be catching the guys up ahead. Scott Nichols 2.3 ahead of Martin Legg. Oh no, he's not, sorry, he's 8 seconds. 8 seconds clear of Martin Legg at the moment, so these two very much in their own fight. Pellicano still 1.2 back. So if Tam gets much closer, I think you can see Pellicano just closing in bit by bit, and that gap coming down from 1.2 seconds very closely. 1.2 not being that far already, but as soon as Tam gets close to the back of Martin Legg, if he can catch that, bring that gap down. See Pellicano not too far back, he'll absolutely make a fight of it. Yeah, man, it should be good, Jay. It should be good. The Xbox leagues have been good for a while now. Very, very, very competitive, like insanely competitive. Quite a few quick guys that go into tier 2 now, which is pretty awesome. But no, it should be awesome. Should be great to watch. Hopefully it'll be great to race in. Hopefully it'll be nice and clean and all of the above. So yeah, looking forward to it. So Pellicano, that gap's now come down to under a second. So yeah, Pellicano's pushing there. He's trying to close in on this gap. I'll be very careful there. Coming through that chicane. The gap now about 6/10 up ahead to Legg. You see that's just closing a bit by bit here. He does look like he's getting closer and closer, and he's very much into defending territory very, very soon. That's alright, JP, that's alright. I appreciate you, dude, don't worry. Is that Type Hawk? Thank you very much for the follow either way. Much appreciated. TBYP Hawk. Yeah, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. 689 now, so nearing on the 700 followers. Hopefully we'll see that very, very soon. Got a lot of streams coming up. So yeah, look at that now. Pellicano down to 2:10, so he is pushing hard here. Or Tam is just making a few tiny mistakes. You can see a 1.2 up to Legg now. So Legg's been able to pull that gap by about 7/10. I think it's more Tam going back towards Pellicano. But Pellicano in 9th at the moment with Newman in 10th, 3-second gap. Be interesting to see if that closes down at all. Driving pretty well so far. So after that, what you've got caught up in early, it was very unlucky. So Pellicano just trying to keep it consistent there, not taking too much curb. You can see he's not pushing that car too hard. Only got 4 minutes left till the pit window opens, and then I'll have 10 minutes to hop in the pits. I'll have just maybe half a dozen laps to hop in and have their mandatory stop. But these guys nice and close, been close for a long time now. So Tam just closing in on the back of Legg again. Pellicano trying to come with him. And you see Newman, actually that gap is halved in the space of about a lap and a bit. So that's down to 2.1, that was nearly 4 seconds not long ago. Be very interesting to see if that is coming down at a rate of knots. This could be a 4-car fight very soon. And then Pelicano's going to have to defend as well, so he will not be able to fight forwards as much as he wants to. That might be when Tam and Leg need to put their foot down, try and get away. So Newman having a solid drive since that getting caught up in that unfortunate incident earlier on. So 1.7 now, so yeah, that has halved in about a lap and a bit. So he's on some good pace at the moment. They will be able to come in just under 3 minutes time. You do have to change tyres as well, so they will all come out on fresh tyres as it is mandatory. Pelicano now less than half a second to Tam, and yeah, look at that, Newman now right on the back of this pack. So it's a 4-way battle now from 7th down to 10th. Cars in front and behind, a little bit spread out. These guys providing some good racing at the moment. I know you were as surprised as me, JP. Oh, Pelicano going wide there. It's going to cost him time back to Eric Newman. So Newman now going to be right on the back of his bumper very, very shortly. As I said, he'll have to go into defensive mode pretty soon. But yeah, Robert Lovelace in the BMW would be higher up had he not stuck it in the ball a bit earlier. He was in this fight, and yeah, just a little bit greedy on the curb. Got a little bit of the gravel, and off he went, unfortunately. So got good pace. Whether he'll stick with that car for the league, I do not know. Whether that's influenced his decision, I'm not sure. There might be people here that are safe for approval and evaluation. They've raced with us plenty, who might just be using this as a chance to test the cars, which is what a lot of them do. So we'll go on board with Rhys Williams and that headache livery. Rob Lovelace just behind him, very, very close. Doing very well to keep him behind. It's a bit Microsoft Paint, that, isn't it, that livery? I think that's what it reminds me of. I used to do weird like geometric like paintings in Microsoft Paint. It generally looks something like that, actually. No offence, Rhys. I mean, you know, I can easily spot you, so I appreciate it from that point. That nice little that pink and purple glow as well up to the rear underside of the rear wing. It's very nice. Looks like he's got a bit of a neon strip going on underneath. Oh, Lovelace got the drive there. Not going to go for a move though. He'll wait. He's just going to be patient. You can see Sebastian Busch just up ahead. Oh, Lovelace getting a great drive over the chicane though. He'll hop round him up the hill. Yep, and he'll come down the other side ahead now. So Rhys Williams will slot in. Bright orange wheels as well. Hadn't noticed that till just now. Oh well, there's no accounting for taste. I believe he's the same. Yeah, I'm not here. Colour me surprised, JP. Colour me surprised. Yeah, so these guys doing really well, but not changing order. They are fighting and grinding it out at the moment, lap by lap. All Newman getting a bit loose there. I think he looks like he's got a bit of a squirrely car there. He shouldn't really be losing it around there, around turn number 1. He definitely went further left on the exit than you would normally see. Hamill and Leg though.
Pit window is open.
There we go, pit window open now. So Hamill and Leg still having a good race. So Leg's really driving superbly here. So just keeping it consistent, lap on lap in that AMG. Looks like it's just pushing the right amount here. It's very easy to push too hard on here and just go a bit too hard, use a bit too much curb, put the throttle down a little bit too early. So you just have to be patient really, not too greedy, and I think you can have a better time of things. Saying that, oh, it just gets a bit loose. You see that corner though, that does that to a lot of cars. You see that quite a few of them doing it. Talking of which, so that must have been a big bin there for Scott Nicholls. He was quite a chunk ahead, and so he's going to drop back behind this whole pack now. So he's going to be back behind Newman. So what's happened there? Did we catch it on the replay? I think we do. So has he done exactly what Rob Lovelace does? Inside curb? No, he's gone before. Well, he hadn't hit the wall. An awkward spot to get to end up. Just wanted to get out of the way, get it turned around. Oh, yeah, no, he did so, but just as the other car started to come through, he had no pace, so they came flying around the corner, all saw him there. So a bit unlucky from Nicholls there, but at least he got going again. Did not hit the wall, didn't get any damage, but yeah, that looked like he hit the curb on the entry more than anything else. And look at that, basically the entire lot of them are pitted. Scott Nicholls, Newman and Pelicano all popped into pits, all matching each other. Leg and Tam Hamill though staying out, interestingly enough. So Salmon Sailed and Magato popping past them down the pit straight. Daniel O'Brien up in third. You've got Harry Spears with a 14-second lead, 14.5-second lead at the nearly halfway point of this race. So really showing him how it's done. As they won't have it all his way in the league, much like Killian Ryan, mean him or not. Those two are going to fight each other, and a few others besides. It should be some good racing in that league. So they're very much looking forward to that. Ryan found with a stop and go 30-second penalty. So at the back anyways at the moment, so that will suck a little bit for him, but it will not drop him down any further positions, unfortunately for him. Now, Conan's more a Renault fan, I think. That's me chucking a grenade in the room and running away. Angrily typing away at the keyboard as we speak. So leg up to 6th now. He'll be very happy with how his race is going so far. Keeping Tam Hamill at bay. These two have been very, very close to each other for basically the whole race at this point. Got another 7.5 minutes to pit. So and still another few laps. About another 4 laps to come in. You can see that leg does put a little bit of a gap round turn number 1 to Tam. Most laps. Pretty confident round there, it would seem. Be interesting to see when the guys up top as well pit and jump in for their mandatory pit stop. Looks like a lot of them are leaving it quite late. Don't often see them hop in very early. I suppose we want to end on the freshest tyres possible. Both taking that chicane nicely there, using a bit of the curb, but not too much, not getting greedy. So how close is Tam? Can he have a look? Nope, slots in. Nicely driven by both of them there, nice and patient. You can see Tam got to be very careful. He took going very wide there, using all that curb and a bit of the gravel, which was the ending for Mr. Rob Lovelace earlier in the BMW. Oh, not sure what happened to the leg there. He had a bit of an issue. Goes wide on the exit, so that'll let Tam through. I think he's going to get side by side, a little bit of a tap. Not much you can do about that. And they are still side by side, coming into the final couple of corners. Leg keeping it inside line now. Will Hamill go for the cutback on the final corner? No, he's way too far back. So he'll have that AMG power out the corner, just serving him very well at the moment. No Renaults in there. Yeah. No, they all broke down on the way to the track. Yes. Oh, I wouldn't know, JP. I'm too thick for that sort of thing. So Joe LaCour and Daniel O'Brien in the pit, so they are in now. Halfway into the pit window. Oh, cameraman step. Oh, there we go. Don't know why it couldn't just show us. We'll do this weird movement and then we'll show you. Oh, I thought he disconnected for a second there. No, he's off into the pit lane. He is all good. Even takes the racing line through the pit lane and gets slowed down very nicely on the 59. So does not lose any time there at all. So leader is into the pits now. So you see the security man on the right, not interested at all. So leader into the pits. Joe LaCour and Daniel O'Brien out now. 7th and 8th. Car just up ahead, they're going past. I think that might be Rolling Thunder. So I think he's moving over. Yep, see the blue flags come out there. He moves over to the left. It's all good, and that's the guys through. So it looks like here, LaCour and O'Brien very close. So they've both pitted. So this is a fight for position. Coming over the hump, coming down towards the chicane. Joe LaCour is going to go for that inside line. Is he going to get alongside? He is. So Daniel O'Brien has to give him the room. That's superb drive from Joe LaCour there. Just forced the issue enough. Made sure he was in position. And he takes it. So he's now ahead. Daniel O'Brien behind Joe LaCour on track. So Joe LaCour looking handy. So won a GT4 race on Thursday in that GT4 night we ran. There's some good racing in those cars, but these actually were the two winners of the two races, Daniel O'Brien and Joe LaCour. So both in the Audi as well tonight. And both looking very strong, both looking very comfortable with that car. Evening, Geronimo. How are you doing, dude? Good to see you. So as it stands at the moment, hasn't pitted yet, but Andrew Pike up into the lead. Martin Legg in second as well, Tam Hamill in third, so they'll have They've got 1 lap, maybe 2 to come in. Might be pushing it if they do 2. I think it should be okay. But I suspect they will be coming in pretty shortly. So Daniel O'Brien just having to be nice and smooth here, not make any mistakes. Joe LaCour clearly has some good speed here. Not easy to hang with him at all. Isn't being flustered by the pressure either. A gap of about half a second at the moment, so close, but Joe LaCour isn't going to worry about any dive bombs coming in from far back. So he knows it's a safe sort of gap. He can just concentrate on his own pace at the moment, not making any mistakes. He should be okay. So both of them using that curve beautifully there as well. So as I said there, and you can see there that Tamir was somewhat grossly underestimated where that 50 line was, and I think he's just about got away with it, I think. And whether Martin Legg broke a little bit earlier than he anticipated, you've got to foresee that sometimes if you are that close. But yeah, both into the pits at the same time, not surprised at all. So Andrew Pike, so Mr. Fish, currently at the top of the timetable. But as I said, yet to pit. Harry Spears is in second now. Oh, Legg having to be pushed back a little bit. Tam Hamill as well. Sebastian Magateau with them in the pits too. So closest fight further forward is Joe LaCour and Daniel O'Brien still. O'Brien not being dropped by too much. Only about half a second still. So just clinging on. Hasn't been able to just squash that gap down a little bit further to really put pressure on Joe LaCour and make him worry. But he's still close enough to be a big old factor in his rearview mirror. Put some pressure on him. Wasn't too bad though, Legg. Don't worry. Get out of the chat. You concentrate on your race. You're doing well, man. Keep it consistent and solid. You're doing well, dude. It's called doing a Dow King missing your pits. Right. Well, that's leaning, isn't it, nowadays? It's falling off the chair. Oh, look at that. Well, they were close coming in, and they are pretty close going out. So, I think Legg is just going to have the nose in front. I think he was just a little bit further ahead, so he could get on the throttle a little bit earlier. And yeah, awkward pit exit this. Very quite easy to get that a little bit squirrely coming out there, and then just get on the brakes to go and hit that apex. Obviously, you want to be careful. Just coming out the pits. Going to have cold brakes. Tyres will be a bit chilly too. We've got Andrew Pike in the pits now as well, so he will drop back out onto track soon and see where he is. Mr. Fish. Indeed. And driving a very solid race he is as well. He'll be very happy with that first 22 laps. So Legg and Hamill fighting the good fight again, as they were before the pits have come out, and they are still here on Legg, just taking a bit too much curb. Yep, and he pops him now, slots him back in behind, so loses the position. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of that from both drivers, to be honest. It's easily done in an hour-long race, you know, not fatigue so much, but, you know, the time, concentration, it gets harder and harder the longer you're doing it. Supportive sharp. Cameraman should not be popping in the stream to slag off a driver. Naughty. Bad cameraman. No. But no, really good driving from them so far. Really solid. I said we've seen errors by a lot of the drivers so far. Here we go. Pike coming out of the pits now. Pit window just about to close. We've got a yellow flag out as well somewhere. It'd be lovely if this game told us exactly where. But we do not know. All green again now. So yellow flag out again. So some people are having some issues going wide, I think, here. But Pike back out into 5th. So again, really, really solid race from him so far. Well, Legg all the way up to the back of Tam Hammond again, though. Not get rid of him that easily. Can't miss his car, let's be honest. So you know where he is. So fighting for 7th and 8th at the moment. Pellicano pulled away a little bit in 6th now. So these two are still the closest fight on track. You've got Scott Nichols a bit further back after his spin earlier as well. So even if you lose a little bit of time, they're still better to be patient and drop a little bit of time and push it too hard and ending off disappearing into the wall. That's no fun for anyone. Oh, just saying that, I've got to keep my mouth shut on saying those things like that, haven't I? Because it predicates things way too often. So yeah, just a couple of mistakes there, so that's popped him a little bit back. So he's just got to try and make sure he keeps to the race in line. Uses the tarmac, don't want to get too much curb. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see mistakes from other drivers though in this race. So it could still come back to him. That gap still isn't too big. And he did close it down earlier. So Nichols, you can see struggling a little bit in the background there, off into the grass. Had good pace, was much further forward until he had that spin earlier in the race. Magato up in 11th at the moment. Nice clean white Porsche. Nichols down in 12th. Loveless in 13th. Again, another man who had a spin in that BMW. Doesn't look like the easiest car to drive. I still don't think he'll take that in the race, but in the league itself, sorry, but you never know. I may be wrong. I'm going to have a drive through for Rhys Williams, so it must be a... just a bit too much. Bit too much of the grass usage there, a bit too much track extending. So we'll have to serve a drive through, so that will suck, unfortunately for him. Catch a team name from Sebastian Magato there as well. That looks, I think his head butted the keyboard and just enter. Yeah. So what's I call myself? Boom. That'll do. And hit enter. That'll lovely. It's how you say 2020 if you sneeze just at the end. 2010. That's roughly how it goes. So Carmen Corkery in 4th at the moment. So a really solid race from him. He'll be very happy with how this has gone so far. There's a good lead back to Andrew Pike as well. Daniel O'Brien a little bit up the track at the moment. Don't know if he'll catch him up unless the cars ahead make a mistake. You can see there's Rhys Williams still need to service his drive-through. It's like a cartoon livery, that, isn't it? It's so bright. It stands out like a sore thumb. So Corkery taking the chicane nicely. God, that camera angle is weird. So weird. Lovely, but God, it's making me feel a bit weird. Something you know in your car and you go over one of those bridges and you go, whoop, and just the other side, it's that. I've seen your taste in livery, Sharpie, so I wouldn't expect anything else. Unless it was like completely brown, then you'd be all about it. Sort of a beigey colour, or yeah, just. So they're 1.2 back, 1.3 behind Tam Hamill. Not much between them. He can still close that gap for sure. He's still driving well. Still brought that gap down just a little bit. Newman about 3.3 seconds back from him. I don't think he'll be troubling them too much unless he can get on the power pretty shortly and start improving those times and bring that gap down bit by bit. It's 3.4 now, so we'll keep an eye on that. So Salmon Soud. So he's got Magato just in front of him now, so Magato has got through, it looks like, there, and Scott Nichols in 12th. So Soud, there we go, down into 11th. Nichols having a look from quite far back. That's a bit dive bomby, a little bit naughty, and to be fair, it's a little bit of karma there for being turned around. I think that's a bit unnecessary. Not the best rejoin either as well there, so that might need a little note of advice after the race. Not the nicest place to be with on the racing line, but you're kind of driving back towards the apex. It's a bit risky. Sometimes you're better just sitting there and let the other person avoid you. So I'm sure that might be looked at afterwards. We know he's capable of better than that, so yeah, he probably knows that wasn't great. That aggressive overtake as well from that far back, probably a little bit much. Lovely looking livery that, I have to say. Not overuse of the metallic material there, so I approve. Nice and simple. So 5th at the moment. It's a good race from him so far. So I don't think he's worried too much about the cars up ahead. Pelicano behind him though. I don't think, again, so far back. I think Pike should be fairly comfortable here. He's got 7 seconds to the car in front, 14 to the car behind. Rhys Williams just popping in for his drive through there. You could see at the front of the picture. Yeah, a little bit weird. He had a great race last week. And I know he's better than that, so it's a bit of a weird surprise he went for that, to be honest. And then everything goes from there, doesn't it, really? But yeah, we're very interested to see how Pike can mix it here in the league once it gets going properly. So he's clearly got some fairly solid pace. Daniel O'Brien. You can see Joe LaCourse just disappeared off into the distance a little bit. Oh, Daniel really pushing very hard here. So that gap 2.2. So did Joe LaCourse make a little bit of a mistake? I think that gap has come down by about a second, you know. So yeah, I think that's become much much closer quite quickly. Interested to see if that gets any closer, if the gap goes back out again. Just over 18 minutes left now. Whoops. Yeah, that was a bit unlucky, really. So unfortunate on that one. It was probably Tam, yeah. The way he went into the pits, it was probably Tam. To be honest, I didn't realise that at the time. But I'm surprised you can knock that over. I know it's realistic, but it'd be nice if they let that one not fall over. Just that one. So what were you driving like 900 mile an hour about halfway down the pit lane going, when do I slow down? Now? Well, I haven't seen the sign, so... Sorry, Reese. I'm going to have to give you hell for that. That's your bad. No, it's a bit unlucky. Hey ho, now you know. Next time you do it, you know where it was. Well, you know where it should be. Yeah, so 1.9, so we just close that gap a little bit. Staying at under 2 seconds. It'll be interesting to see the next sector time. See if that has closed down a little bit. Oh, yellow flag. Oh, and saying that, was that Joe LaCour off or was that another car? No, Joe LaCour's fine, so that was another driver off into the Kitty. I think that was Scott Nichols. I think that was him done. I think he's off to the pits, or he's left the lobby completely. Bit of a shame if so. That's not a good... That was a... Well, yeah, let's be honest, that was an absolutely dreadful 5 minutes from him there. So, yeah, not quite sure what was going on there, but you won't want to be doing that in the league. From a race quitting point of view or a dive bombing point of view, that will get frowned upon, unfortunately. So, Common Corkery going past Sebastian Bush here. Overtaking and taking another lap on Sebastian. But yeah, Daniel O'Brien is still about 2 seconds from Joe LaCour, so that gap's staying fairly consistent. Harry Spears off in the distance. No other cars to worry about apart from those he is lapping. Best of a 28.3, so really solid pace, but just churning it out lap on lap. As we said, we know he's one of the quickest drivers here. Drives for Team Fordzilla. And you don't get in without some decent pace. Nice blue livery there. So he'll be coming up. You can see actually Tam Hamill and Leg not that far up the road. Leg's only 8/10 back. Yeah, you can see they're just coming around to the final couple of corners. So they're going to have the leader coming up to them very shortly. Look like Newman as well. So Newman's closed up to that gap. So Hamill, Leg and Newman 7th to 9th. That looks like that's going to be a good fight soon. But they are going to have to let the leader past fairly shortly. So just a bit further ahead. So hopefully Spears is nice and patient here. He's got plenty of time to play with back to the next car. So hopefully I'll give them a little bit of time. So this is Salmon Soud and Loveless. Loveless looks like he's got past here. So it's just made the move on Salmon Soud up to 11th now. So as I said, not had the easiest race in that BMW. Wonder if he's maybe going to think that was fun, good experiment, but no. I thought I'd tried a BMW and I won't be doing it again. Or if he's really sick and twisted, he might be sticking with it. You never know. So we are at the moment. Hamill still in 7th, Leg 8th, Newman in 9th, and then you can see the leader behind them there. So he might just have to be a bit patient here and just play the waiting game, try and get close to them on the start of the straight. Newman really nailing that chicane there. Hopefully that wasn't a track limits issue. So he's just trying to latch back on to Martin Leg here. And I think, yeah, Spears, if he's being smart here, won't try and attack them too much. Doesn't have to worry too much here. Oh, Leg just going long there. That is going to let Eric Newman through, I think. Yeah, and you get side by side coming through this left and right. Oh, Leg only just giving them enough room there, but it just does give him enough space. And it's just about preserved him that position. So Hamill keeps in 7th. Oh, Leg in 8th, Newman in 9th. And then they're going to have Harry Spears trying to get past. So will they all move over? I think the first driver does. But he has to slot in behind Martin Leg, so next opportunity he'll hop past him as well. So rather than everyone trying to let him go in one swoop, but I think Harry's being nice and patient here, to be honest. I think he probably could have closed up on those guys a bit quicker there, but just realised where they were. Go up the inside of Martin Leg here around the right hander, nicely done. So well handled by all of those guys so far. Has let Tam get away a little bit, but then he'll have to let Spears go soon as well, as long as Spears doesn't make any mistakes himself. On Leg and Newman very, very close. Is Newman going to make a move up the inside? No, wisely so. Didn't have me worried there, but again, just showing his face in the rearview mirror. Good space to let him go that as well by Tam, but that would have lost him a fair chunk of time. But still, he's not come out of that badly at all. But that train will reform. So 13.5 minutes left now. Sticking to it just like... yeah, some people like to try different cars and you don't worry about their positions. Well, they're going for the inside line defending. Newman will try and go the long way round. Oh, he's done really well there. Gets as good on the power as he can. Oh, they're getting a little bit scribbly there. Can he rescue it? Yeah, no, he can. Would have been a weird crash that. Weird place to crash. Don't know why he's flashing, to be honest. I don't think Eric Newman did anything wrong there. I'll tell him that after the race. Don't worry. You can probably hear me now, to be honest. But yeah, I don't think there was too much wrong there. Just close racing. But it's good fighting between these three. Had plenty of battling now for most of the first 45 minutes of this race. So they'll be very well acquainted with each other in these cars. Hopefully they'll have plenty of this in the league as well. So see Newman in 8th, Hamill. So they've been in 7th for most of this race, really. So very clearly a position he's fond of. He just hasn't been able to shake the cars trying to take that position off him. Yeah, I've no idea. Anglais I've got, beyond that. Oh, and that's it's just hit that curve way too hard, and Tam, after all that hard work, he's going to have to get it turned round and hopefully not do too many pirouettes. So yeah, he's actually got airborne now, he's actually fully got altitude, so that, unfortunately, after all that hard work, is that position gone for him, so he'll be down in, I think he'll be down in 9th now. I think he'll still be ahead of Magato. Oh, he's just getting a bit greedy on the curves. You have to be careful here, otherwise he might have another mistake or two in him here. Doesn't want to end up in the gravel any further. But Newman up to 7th spot now. So he's as I said, showed good pace. Just been fairly unlucky with his own spins or just getting caught up in stuff last week and this week. Oh, don't worry, I know. Now, JP's definitely not French. If we just say moi, English people just say moi to try and say me, but sound posh. Obviously, it's just French. Moi? It's just, yeah, we haven't got a clue what we're on about, most of us English, so don't worry. As you know. So, nearly down into the final 10 minutes now. You see Daniel O'Brien. That gap is closing, so Joe Lecourt. So, he's lost a fair bit of time. Daniel O'Brien wants that second position. These two having some really good races recently on ACC. I can say, je ne comprends pas. I can say that. I knew that very well from French at school. I don't understand. Oh, evening SSR, Mr. Bobbert. Oh yeah, don't worry. We'll see anything we need to see. Don't you worry. Stuff will get looked at as it is an evaluation. It's all good. We've had some good racing so far. Some very, very good racing. So I haven't seen anything too much untoward from those guys so far. A little bit of flashing here and there, but to be honest, what I saw there with that flashing was a bit soft. Oh, Loveless gets a drive through 10 minutes from the end of the race, so that'll pop him further back. So he's gonna have to chuck it in the pits one time around. Down in 11th at the moment. No, we can do better than that. You've seen him drive before, Conan. You've seen him, don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. We'll have a look at stuff later on. As I said, it's evaluation anyway, so we know there'll be people making the odd mistake. Racing's racing, but we'll check stuff as we check later on. It's all good. So O'Brien still just trying to close that gap. 1.8 now, so it has come out a little bit. It looks like Joe Lecourt's got the sheer pace, but it's just making the odd mistake, and then it's closing down by half a second, maybe a second on occasions. It has to be banned. Bit harsh. But no, I'm sure we'll have it later on. So Loveless comes in for his drive-through. Again, does suck. Unfortunately, not really had the race he was hoping for. Was in the good battles in the mid-pack earlier on. But it's not quite worked out for him, unfortunately. I've got no idea what you guys are on about. Go on, you can go back to English in a minute, just so we haven't got a foggy what you little guys are saying. You're making the chat all Belgian and French, and we're not. Our English isn't even that good, so you know we've got no chance. Ah, right. I know what question he asked then. How many Belgian drivers? What other Belgian drivers do we have? Those ones. There we go. And if you're not sure, by the way, Conan, put your own name. Take it easy, so he knows who you are. But yeah, plenty of them about. Plenty of them. Belgian drivers, a lot of continental drivers you find on ACC. Right, well I'm translating that in Google. Hang on. Copy, paste. Come on Google, you've been rubbish. English. And then that. That's not very nice. I don't think he was that. Yeah, don't worry. I got you in the end. I worked it out. So Corkery there, with Loveless behind him. Obviously Corkery a lap or two up. I think it might just be the one lap. I'm not slow, Sharpie. Right. If I don't race, I can't be slow because I'm not on the track. So that's my logic. You see, if I don't race, then if I can tell people I'm quick, and they've got no proof otherwise. I say that. That's going to be my famous last words. So 7 minutes remaining now. So Daniel O'Brien still 2 seconds off of Joe LaCour, not really able to close that gap any further. Corkery still in 4th. Quite a way back though, nearly 30 seconds back from 3rd. Pike in 5th, again solid drive from him, but in his own little universe on track. Apparently I'm slow. Very slow actually, according to what he said. Trailer. Very slow, very harsh, isn't he? I'm not quick anymore, but I'm not slow. Oh, Loveless! On round it goes. That's going to be another. I say highlight. It's not going to be a highlight. It's going to be a replay. Oh, I think he's just about recovered it nicely there, actually. So let's have a look at this. Has he got a bit greedy on the curbs again? I think he might have. Let's have a look. So car up ahead of him, obviously, is much further forward in terms of the timings. He's been lapped, but still having a good go. So let's see where he loses it. So takes the curb through there nicely. Has he just got loose on the exit? Yep. Oh, you think he would have learned? Does he hit the wall again? Yep. So that's going to, we might call that Loveless Wall or something soon. I'll rename that wall in his honour if he hits it anymore in this race. So yeah, not going well for him there. Doesn't like that corner very clearly, or doesn't like that corner in that car. Yeah, very dare he, indeed. I know JP. It's charming, isn't it? So it's the equivalent to having, say, the F1 presenters on TV, having a cameraman somewhere around the track just text them insults. Or just posting them on... Well, this is like posting them on the screen. It's terrible, isn't it? Slagging off the commentator. So harsh. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just, you know, just harsh. So Padacano's had a solid race in the Ferrari. So just let the guys fight amongst themselves earlier on. Looked like he was going to be in a battle for those mid-pack positions. But yeah, he's just sort of taken off and run his own race, and run it very well. Up into 6th, about 12 seconds back from Andrew Pike, so I don't think he'll have much chance of gaining any more positions in the final 5 minutes. But so far, quite a solid drive. You can see here, so Legs have had a few issues last few laps, so Tam is starting to close in again after his issue earlier on. So easily done, right towards the end of the race, been driving for a nearly... Ooh, that's... Yeah. You're allergic to ACC, are you? Too much info. I mean, get well soon, but still, you know. And I'm not translating that for the other guys either. They can work that one out themselves. Or you're just trying to be funny with saying we, and they're saying we. I don't know. Yeah. Yes, oh, sorry, I just see your message up further above. Probably like that, yes. Well, they're having to go wide here. Use all the road. Make sure you give himself enough space to come through. Tam, though, slots in behind. Just under 4 minutes to go now. So this will be 3 laps remaining. Oh, these guys are quite a way back from the lead. So I think it will be 3 laps. Harry Spears is quite a way round his next lap, I'm sure. So I'll be interested to see when he crosses the line. But a lot of these guys have been lapped anyways. These guys are 2 laps down. Ah, come on, he's been trapped up. It needed longer than that. I've got no idea. So he's bringing it up going. I wonder. Ah, no, they can all see it. Whoops. I quite like the track map. Better than it used to be. It used to be huge. Take up the entire screen. So it has improved. A lot of the improvements recently from ACC have been really good. So. $1 million question, Conan. Who is your favourite driver? Pick a Belgian? Any Belgian? It's been all harsh. I mean, today, yes. I mean, it's not even this fun. It's just that wall. He gets on that curb and over there he goes. It's a massive shame from him. So again, yes, a Tam. Dropping back again into 8th. Sorry, yeah, back into 9th. Martin Legg in 8th. Eric Newman. It's made good on that initial speed he had earlier on. That promise he did have. Back up to 7th. Bit of a rescue drive like last week. Ah, that's a good answer, to be fair, Conan. Good answer. It'll be interesting to see who wins out of this battle, though. Just 2 minutes 20 seconds remaining. So we'll just be 2 more laps before we get started with the league proper next week. No, he's good. Loveless now. Loveless is a really, really great bloke. He's a really fun chap, and he totally gets it. Yeah, no one here is Raghunathan. Bless him. No one here is that. Blindfold me, and I still think I could turn the car around. Who's that? Sturbo. I don't think he signed up for the ACC season. He struggled last year, I know, Mr. Eduardo. So I don't think so, because we've got no Project Car stuff going. If the AMS2 stuff kicks off, then I think he'll probably take part in that. But yeah, not at the moment, which is a shame, but we'll see. He's an absolutely thoroughly awesome bloke as a Sturbo. So I do hope so. I hope he sticks around and gets involved in AMS2 and whatever else we might run that he likes. Hopefully he can have more time on ACC as well and pick up some more speed on here, because it'd be awesome to see him fighting amongst it, because I know he would as well if he just has a bit more time to put into it. So Martin Legg in that AMG, holding off Tam Hamill quite nicely so far. We just need to do it. There we go, thank you very much. Just need to do it for one final lap. So one of the bit more laps for them. Obviously Spears now on to the final lap. So one more time round for everyone else. So it looks like it's going to be a good race for Spears, LaCour, O'Brien. They've been a class above, really. Pulled away quite early on. Took out a gap that was pretty hard to surpass. And they have been off into the distance pretty much from 5 to 10 minutes into the race. Did look like there was going to be a good fight from LaCour and O'Brien, but I think LaCour's just had that sheer outright pace, and those mistakes have maybe brought him back a couple of times, but on the whole I think he's done pretty well. He'll be pleased with his performance. You can see there about 3 seconds back from Joe LaCour, so yeah, you can just about see him up the road, but not really close enough to fight. So closest fight on track at the moment. So we'll see the victor coming over the line fairly shortly. Here we go. So from the very start, dominant qualifying, took that pole position. Great start to the race, drove away and made it count, and we did what we all expected him to do. And he takes the win. Well done, Harry Spears. Superb performance and a great win, well done. Looking forward to seeing how he fares in the league. And we've got Joe LaCour. So some way back, to see how dominant the win that was for Harry. So all the other cars have all coming over the line now. We'll finish. A Pelicano has just come over the line. He is done now. All that purple smoke coming over the track. I thought my screen was broken for a second there. I thought that was a bit weird. Fair play, JP. I like your reasoning. So there we go. Joe LaCour will come over the line. He'll take second. Daniel O'Brien not far back at all either in third. Great podiums from all three of them. So Newman, Legg and Hamill have all finished as well. Legg takes 8th just ahead of Tam. Some great fighting from all those guys. So well done to those. Magato finished in 10th. We've got Boosh, Batch and Thunder all finishing 13th, 14th and 15th. They have come across the line to the checkered flag. Yeah, superb drive from Mr. Spears. It'll be interesting to see how all these quick drives fare once they're all together in the league proper. It'll be very, very interesting. Corkery comes over the line. Really solid drive from him. So well done there on a good 4th spot there. Andrew Pike, very consistent, really solid. Just once that pace comes, once he gets quicker and quicker and gets more au fait with the setups as well, really push that car forward a bit further. But I'm pretty sure he'll be very, very happy with that. 5th spot. Well done to you there, Mr. Andrew Pike. And I think that is everyone finished, apart from poor old Reece Williams, who, yes, we had that status update from earlier in the Twitch chat. Andrew trying to take the Marshall's flag out there. But really good drive from a lot of them. Some really good racing, especially in that mid-pack. A little bit strung out further forward, but there was some really good pace. I know they'll be pretty happy with that. But yeah, Harry Spears, superb drive from him. Team Fordzilla driver in that AMG. His best lap of a 1:28.389. I wonder if that is the quickest lap of the race. I would suspect it probably is. But no, really looking forward to the league proper. Starts next week. Cheers, Jay Higg. Will do, Jay Higg, man. Cheers, looking forward to it. Thank you very much for another 100 cheers as well, Mr. Conan. Thank you very much as always. But yes, next week, first week proper of season number 4. We are at Nürburgring as well. I love that track. I think there's some great racing there. I think that really works for these cars as well. So really looking forward to that. Same format, as I said, of tonight. So Nürburgring for race number 1. The rest of the calendar being Spa for week 2, Zandvoort week 3. We have Monza for week 4, Brands Hatch GP for week 5, and then Barcelona for week number 6. So yeah, it's going to be a fascinating season for sure. We'll have our next multi-class, next endurance race, likely a multi-class race 2, open in the next couple of weeks. We'll start getting details out to the people for that as soon as they are out there, as soon as they are ready. We'll get the sign-ups open for that. We're looking forward to that as well. Last one was superb fun to take on stream and watch how well the reception was taken for that when we announced it. So yeah, fingers crossed for the same for the next race. Yeah, hope you're feeling better, Reece. Catch you later, man. I bet you are sweating. Yeah, I reckon you were sweating after about 10 minutes on that leg. That looked fun though. It's very, very cool. Well, no, like I said earlier, Reece, there's no accounting for taste. Objective opinions, you know, we've all got to be different. It makes it really easy to spot you though, Reece, and I really appreciate that. Like, I cannot mistake your livery for anyone else's, not a chance. So I like the way the commentator just said beautiful, colourful scenes. I think he heard what we were talking about. Terrible. He's listening in, I reckon. I appreciate the views, Mr. Trackside commentator. But yeah, some great racing there. Mr. Fish did really well. We'll be very happy with the 5th. But some good pace shown throughout. And I think on the whole, pretty clean. No, not from what I could see, nothing really obvious where there was some absolute awful carnage. There'll be some bits we'll have a look back through. Yeah, but yeah, look, Reece, here's your rule of thumb. If Sharpie thinks your livery's nice, it's probably hideous. I'm just saying. I'm just talking from my own experience. So, just my own observations. So yes, next week, round number 1 at Nürburgring should be awesome. Really looking forward to that. Hopefully a pretty full grid. If not, we've got a few drivers on standby that hopefully we'll be able to hop into the league. Well, Hello, Fish. Hello, well driven, mate. Well done, dude. Sharpie, again, what I said previous, refer to my previous statement, Reece. If he says it's lovely, I don't know. Yes, good. I agree on the camera work. Was superb. I enjoyed not having to do the cameras, so I appreciated that. Superb stuff. But yeah, well done, Fish. Superb driving. Glad you're enjoying it as well. But that was a cracking drive. Well done, man. So I'll be back with you next on Tuesday for the Clio Cup on Project Cars 2 on Xbox. That is round number 1 of season number 5, and that is at Donington Park National. So we've got 2 tiers in that. I'll be streaming the top tier. We've got next Friday. I don't think we have a GT4 race this coming Thursday. If so, I'll be streaming that. But if we say, we'll get some sign-ups open for that in the next day or two. We've got round number 4 of the Formula 3 League on Race Room. That is next Friday. That is at Hockenheim. So that should be very interesting in those cars. And then, as I said, next Sunday, round number 1 of season number 4 of these GT3s, and that will be at Nürburgring. So very much looking forward to that. Should be amazing. Yes, cheers, JP. Cheers, Conan. Really appreciate all your views. So yeah, on that note, thank you ever so much for watching. Cheers for your time this evening. Thanks for all the follows, the cheers, and any of the resubs. Really appreciate that, as always. So yes, hopefully you all have a wonderful evening. I will see you here again on Tuesday for a bit of Project Cast 2 on Xbox. Hopefully I'll see you then. If not, I'll see you next time. So yeah, everybody take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all soon.